What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the A Show with the Kings of Pro Wrestling Podcast. I am Justin here with Meelz. What's going on, Meelz?
Let's see. What do I have to ask? Oh, okay. I have a couple things.
Oh boy.
One, what's the temperature on Bad Boys Ride or Die?
I'm gonna go see it. I think I'm just going to go see any movie with those two in it. So like I'm not the right person to ask. I think it looks good. I seen some early reviews that said it was pretty fun too. So I mean, what are you expecting?
I don't know what I'm expecting anymore. I feel like they're too old to revitalize this franchise in this way, where constant movies are coming out.
But here's the thing, Meelz. There aren't constant movies coming out. There's only one movie coming out every week, and after Furiosa this week, that's it until Bad Boys. Like that's the only movie that's dropping in the next 2 weeks.
That's nuts. So we're returning to the era of the Will Smith summer blockbuster.
Trying to.
In an era where I don't look at Will Smith the same. I honestly don't even look at fucking Martin the same. So it's kind of like tough for me. Go ahead.
Here's where I stand with the Bad Boy stuff, right? I think that in Bad Boys, the last one, I was quite annoyed by how little Martin had to do. And I think that what you mean by, you look at Martin differently is that like he's not like I think a lot of what Martin is now is he's a lot slower paced. And we're used to like the faster paced stuff. And I think a lot of that is by design, in that like he is, he lived a hard life, you know what I'm saying? So like the fact that he's even still here with us is like crazy. He's even said it himself, but what it looks like in this movie is that he actually has something to do. And that's what I like am really interested in this movie, is that like it looks like he has something to do. Because the last movie it was all about, I don't know if you saw the last one, but it was like literally all about Mike Lowry. It was like, I got a fucking son and and then
no, I saw all of it. It felt like he was like very Barney Rubble to Fred Flintstone. You know what I'm saying?
And this one, I think he has like a near death experience or something like that. I've been reading like one of the story beats.
But that's what Mike Lowry had last one.
I know. Well, I think he had like a medical thing or something like that, and that's what's causing him to be like. I think that Martin in these movies, like they've turned Marcus from like the hothead to like the complete like comedy kind of foil, right?
Right.
So I think that they're kind of doubling down on it. I think another thing that's interesting about this is that it's directed by the guys who made that Batgirl movie, they got scrapped, the $90 million one that just got thrown in the trash. They directed it, and so like. There's a lot of hype going into it because people want to see what they can do. And so like a lot of people have said they pulled it off. They said the action is like insane in the movie. They said the action is like really, really great. And I'm actually excited to see it.
Okay, you sold me. Because I was very like, what's I was I was looking at it, I was like, another one? Ride or Die?
You gotta ride or die, baby.
But then I'm like, I've never seen. I'm keeping a buck. I'm probably the only person, maybe Mark. Me and Mark. I'm holding Mark out, but Mark may not. Mark may have seen it, and I may be the only person.
Mark didn't see it.
Okay, Fast and Furious movies. I just haven't seen anyone since like Tokyo Drift, like none of them.
Yeah, I mean, I think Bad Boys is what like is or was are that. Was our version of that, but I think that the movies just came out too infrequently. Like there was nearly a 10-year gap between 1 and 2, and then another 9-year gap between
9 years is a stretch.
So like it was a long time.
It was like 20 years. It was like 20 fucking years, bro.
Yeah, I'm bugging, but like it was a really long time. But now this like it's 3 years gap, and it's like they got to get to these. I thought the last one was gonna be the last one, honestly, but it also looks like this one isn't going to be the last one either. So like, I feel like, if they keep doing well, the last one did well, they'll keep making them. Obviously I miss the Michael Bay version of these movies. Like there's a sense of visual style that's missing out of those because Michael Bay isn't doing them anymore. But I think that the one thing I can say is that the chemistry between the two leads has never been bad. So I like that. And I also love Meelz that they bring all the guys back. Like they bring the people from the old movies back, and they're older and they grow. It's like it's a franchise in a rare franchise also that grows with us in the same way that like I don't know if you used to watch Lethal Weapon. This is kind of the other side of those movies, like the black version of Lethal Weapon, even though Danny Glover had a whole last black family in those movies. But like that, they grew with us. And I think there aren't many action movies that grow with us. Like if it's Marvel or something like that, like DC, they reboot it, right? Like every couple years they'll just reboot it with somebody younger. Like this is one of the few franchises left where they actually grow with us. So like that's why I think you should always kind of like give it a chance or give it a look.
Okay, all right, I'm sold. I'll tap in. The online content and the promotion and the thing, all of it was just like, am I ready for another Bad Boys movie?
I like the KB, the was that his name? KB, the black dude who makes that face. They did some content with him.
They did some shit with fucking what's my man's name? Your man's name from All Deaf.
Kevin.
Yeah. We should get him on. I mean, we've wanted to get him on Lookout too, but
I could ask.
I would love to get him. He commented about Bron Breakker last night. He's obviously tapped in somehow.
Yo, we're gonna talk about that.
We're gonna talk about Bron Breakker. Bron Breakker is a wild boy, and my guy ain't deserved that at all. They killed him off crazy, but we're gonna get to that.
That's the type of killing that you got to get released the next day for, bro.
Bruh, don't put your speed champion through that, my nigga. Come on. I was so upset. I was like, what? This didn't even need that. You had time for this?
You know I pump my fist. I pump my fist.
Oh my god. What else did I have to ask? Jesus Christ. Oh, I don't know.
I want to preface everything today, right? Because I got dental work done yesterday. So
ooh, okay.
I'm a little I'm a little sore, you know.
All right. I'm definitely sore. My ankle's completely fucked up.
Yeah, you said that. Yeah.
I've been doing this running program to kind of like prepare me to run a 5K. I have not signed up for a 5K, but I'm prepared to run a 5K.
To run one if necessary.
Right, but I'm glad I didn't sign up for one, right? Because the closest one, which is like the New York City one for 5K, because they just did a 10K like last weekend, is June. It's like early June. But I missed like the early deadline. So I was like, do I really want to pay $60 to run in a 5K? So I was like, I'll wait and see. Kind of like if I feel good, I could always just sign up like the day before or like the week before or something along those lines. Mm-hmm. Anyway, so I'm doing this. I'm getting in my program. I'm getting a good like, bro. I'm running times I've never, not like times, but like my problem has always been endurance, right? Like my gauge for running is, could I finish a final on the challenge? I promise you, that's my gauge of running every time. I'm like, if I run for 10 minutes, they might be a puzzle. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, so that's my gauge of running always. So last weekend, it's probably the longest I've ran without taking a break, which was about 20 minutes. Which is a long time for me. I'm like generally, I'm overweight. I don't run. I'm not a good runner. All this other stuff like that, but it's pretty good for me. So on Sunday, you're supposed to run. I'm supposed to run 3 days out of the week. Other 4 days, I can rest. I can chill. I can do whatever. But on Sunday, I just decided to go take a walk because it's Game 7 Sunday. I'm stressed as fuck. Shout out to Tyrese Halliburton. Also, fuck you, Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah. for niggas the hell, huh?
Yeah, he did. It is what it is. I mean, the last member of our starting broke his fucking hand in the game. So it's like, what a fitting way to end the season. So I'm stressed. So I'm walking around and I'm walking through the park, and I'm walking uphill, and I felt something in my ankle. I was like, fuck, this is gonna be like that same shit as last time.
Is it a bone spur?
No, it's like when you this is more so like overstressing, overworking something in your ankle. Because I've had this before. I've had this like 3 times before. It just sucks because it always puts me down for like a week or 2. And I'm in the middle of like my best running ever. The weather is great outside. It's not too hot. It's not too fucking cold. Like I can get up at 8 a.m. and fucking kill this shit. So anyway, I feel it. I was like, you know what? It is what it is. I walk all the way back home. I rest on Monday. I wake up this morning, I feel fine. I go out and walk for 5 minutes, I legitimately feel fine. As soon as I hit that jog, woo, boy, that shit said, nah. Immediate. I've never had such immediate, like, don't do this ever in your. I legitimately, like, and I'm getting ready to get in my, like, mode. So I'm running, and for 30 seconds I run, and then I start feeling it, and then I'm like, nah, shit. So, like, the smart thing would have been me to go back home, but I was already outside, and I like the weather outside. So I walked for 2 more miles, essentially on it.
Bro, you're nuts.
I'm adrenaline can take you there.
You know what this
Because
means?
I what?
You know what this means? You're old, nigga.
I'm
You're
super old.
old.
I'm
You're
fucking
old.
old,
You're
bro.
fucking old, bro.
I've been old.
And it's okay to get old.
But I'm trying to like stay, good health, good all this other stuff like that. Either way, so I do it for 2 miles because I know the adrenaline is gonna keep me going, and like it hurts, but it's not gonna hurt as much as if I stop.
Right.
Eventually I do stop. And then I can't walk for the rest of it. So I'm like, my ankle's wrapped up, all this other shit like that. I gotta keep it elevated. I know all the things to do. I know the stretches to do because this is pretty similar to last time, unless it's not. But I just gotta chill now, so I'm kind of upset because I was like on a good running momentum wise.
You health niggas, man. I'm telling you. Just stop.
No,
What do you
I
got
can't.
to prove?
I can't just not do anything active because you got to be active somehow. I don't. The gym is. I mean, this week if I feel good, I might just go and do some. I'll probably get on the bike at the gym or something along those lines. Some very low intensive, but still could get the calories burned. But I was just like, fuck, I hate this shit for me. Because if I was if I was like 10 years younger, I could have like whatever.
Shit,
Put
I
this
hate
shit
it.
off tomorrow.
I hate it for you too. I think that ultimately your gauge of being able to run a final, they do a lot more than running a final, nigga. Like, are you gonna eat the shit that they eat? Are you gonna eat cow balls? You know what I'm saying? Like that shouldn't be your gauge.
If
Can
I
you
could,
swim?
I don't know if I could run
Wait,
a
whoa.
final.
You don't know if you can swim. Can you swim or can you not
Oh
swim?
wait. Oh, I didn't know. I didn't hear that question. I cannot swim.
No, you can't do a final.
No,
Like, it's
but
just that's all.
black people on this show generally cannot swim. Like, in fact, it's anti-black to put water in a final because our boat's tipping over. We're just not making it. It's not a good time. I feel like it's very anti-black for putting water in a final. There's an episode where someone almost drowns.
Yeah, it's the episode where fucking who was in there with them? Devin almost killed Zach on the show.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and he
Oh, did
almost
you
died.
remember? Fucking. This is how insane CT is. Remember when CT tried to drown that nigga underwater in the pool?
Yeah, he tried to drown Marlon.
I was like, that's very anti-black. I was like, yo, what is this? Niggas fighting in the pool, and then he tries to drown him for real. I was like, yo, this is
Hey,
crazy.
you know what?
CT.
I'm such a CT fan that I said, fuck him.
Jesus Christ. Either way,
I said, fuck him. Gee, you want to fuck around? Fuck him. Put him in the water, baby.
I reworked my resumes, so my resume feels good.
I reworked mine to be more AI friendly. Cause like they use like the word reader so they can find keywords.
Yeah.
I ain't got a call back yet, nigga. I might just go back to my old one.
Can I give you a funny story about AI that recently? So me and my niece are doing work. I'm helping her with her schoolwork, and she's using. She's like, I got this essay due tomorrow. I'm like, great, whatever.
Yeah.
So we're like, fuck it, let's use AI, like ChatGPT. You're gonna write this essay, but I'm smart though. I'm like legitimately like, we're not gonna just have ChatGPT like write this essay about this thing, because that's how all the other dumbasses in fucking your high school fail.
Yeah.
We're gonna look at the rubric and we're gonna follow the rubric, and I'm gonna tell them word it this way, word it this way, word it this way, and then I'm gonna change around a few words.
Right.
So we do that. She submits the essay. Like on a random Saturday, she gets a message on the Google Classroom from her teacher. She's got a 0 on the,
Oh my god.
and she says, come see me next time you come to school on Monday. So we're like,
that's not funny, but I'm laughing. I'm sorry.
No, I laugh too. So I was like, all right, this is what you're gonna do, right? Because here's my thing with cheating in fucking school that I've learned, that I also think to myself. If you admit you cheated, that means you've lost.
Right.
You cannot admit that you plagiarize at all, because technically they have no actual, they can look and use all their programs and stuff like that, and oh, this sounds like this sounds like this. But I'm like, realistically, like, because I've been accused of being plagiarized before too. My freshman English class, I was accused of plagiarizing when legitimately I'm just a good writer. And my old white teacher, yeah, she was old and she was white, accused me of plagiarizing, and we went back and forth on it, and I never backed down because I didn't actually plagiarize at all. I just know how to put words together, and she eventually backed off. Because she probably knew that heat was coming her way. But so I said, listen, go to school on Monday. If she asks you if you use AI, you just tell her use ChatGPT to help you organize your notes, and that's it.
Meelz, this isn't gonna work.
Anyway, so she gets to school, and the teacher asks her, she's like, did you use ChatGPT on it? And she's like, yeah, just to organize my notes and stuff like that. Because the teacher had done the little scanning thing, and it was like 81% not human. You know what I'm saying?
Are all teachers doing that now?
They're doing it now.
I would tell a teacher, well, of course not. I told you, bitch, I'm not a human. I'm a Martian, like Lil Wayne said.
Because it's so flagrant now. Kids are so flagrant with it. They're not even changing anything. And ChatGPT don't talk like normal people. ChatGPT don't talk like normal things. I'm gonna be book with you. Even on my last job, I used ChatGPT to copy edit a lot of my stuff, because it's just faster to have that than a human do it. And it would be a few things change of like, okay, you need a comment here, this could flow better here. But realistically, I use it to copyright my stuff, because copy edit, not copyright, copy edit my stuff, because I just wanted to thing it when I subbed it in. Either way, to tell her, she tells the teacher that she tells her to use to organize my notes, and the teacher's like, okay, I understand that, but just in case, I want you to write this entire essay over. So she ends up writing it back over. She essentially uses the ChatGPT essay as the base to rewrite it over in her own words, and that was kind of really it. But teachers are getting smarter now. Kids are getting smarter now. ChatGPT is getting smarter now. They released a new version of it. I think it's like the 4.0 version, where legitimately you can have it tutor you. Like I saw some kid, he pretty much like they dragged over a picture of a math problem, and essentially he told ChatGPT like, teach me how to do this problem without giving me the answer, but walk me through the steps, and it essentially helped do that. Like, this shit is crazy.
Well, I don't use AI because it's too creepy for me. I don't know if I can do that.
You played Metal Gear Solid. What's creepier than that?
Fucking AI, but I mean,
what's creepier than someone reading your memory card?
It's in our face now. That's not AI. That's like that's not AI. That was like part of the programming. That's not AI, bro. AI.
Psycho Mantis is not the first AI.
AI more than Psycho Mantis. AI is like Psycho Mantis with like with a fucking with an edge up, bro. Like that's like with a fresh lineup, a clean lineup. That's what AI is. I can't fuck with. I don't even go on the sites. I will still copy it like a fucking dinosaur. I'll still do it myself. I'll still copy it myself. I can't do it.
Look at you, bro.
The most I'll do is Grammarly, bro. And even then I feel nasty doing it. Why the fuck did I study MLA? If niggas is just using Grammarly, bro.
Bro, I mean, make your life easier. I was at the job where it's like AI is the future. You know how fucking BuzzFeed was. Um, they were like, we're using AI to do all types of shit. They were using AI. Let me not expose this company's secrets. But either way, that's a funny thing. So yeah, AI is you got a lot of stuff going on with AI. We should probably get in wrestling at some point.
Yeah, we probably should. Into the news. Also, I'm still on my challenge rewatch. I think that it's really terrible we're not making any content on me reliving these shows. Like you could legitimately come up with a format and I will answer any question that you would like to know about how I feel about these seasons because I have lots of thoughts and so does my wife.
Okay. Let's work through this. Because I had a challenge podcast before. It's not that I'm against doing it again. It's just that the investment of time of doing it again is
It's
the
me,
thing.
baby. It's me, baby.
I understand.
It's me.
Also, you're not cognizant of your own investment of your own time. You will like agree to do things. I'm like, you sure you can do that? And then you're like, oh fuck, I have black print, I have haircut, or something along those lines.
I'm a madman.
You absolutely are. Yeah, sorry, there's a car beeping outside, but
let's start with some AEW news this week. This is a real chill. We got our feet out. We got our throwbacks.
actually there's a whole pay-per-view coming up this weekend. Two
Two of
pay-per-views.
them. Yeah, but before we get to those, we got some AEW news. AEW All Out, which was originally announced for September 1st, has now been moved to the week after September 7th. So it was supposed to be the week after All In.
Moving it from Labor Day weekend seems like a bad idea, but also having it on Labor Day weekend, the week after another major pay-per-view, was a bad idea.
Well, here's the thing. There's just I think that ultimately it came down to somebody blinked. Somebody blinked, and it was AEW because in August alone, you have SummerSlam, you have the Berlin show, the Bash at Berlin on the 31st.
NFC Heat Wave will also be the weekend of SummerSlam.
And yeah, that same weekend, and Heat Wave, and then you have All In, which is the only thing that they have planned that week. And last year, they got fucking walloped trying to go head to head with all that stuff going on. And this year they said we can't have that happen again because not only are they both doing overseas pay-per-views within days of each other, but they're also having domestic ones within days of each other. And AW blinked. I don't care what nobody says about this. They blinked.
But I also think they realize that they're asking a lot from their audience. Because
they're dwindling audience, by the way.
Right, because we've had 3 pay-per-views in the last 3 months for AEW. We've had Revolution, we had Dynasty, we have Double or Nothing, and then I think there's nothing. I think there's nothing until Wembley. But
you got Forbidden Door next month.
Oh yes, Forbidden Door. All right, so boom, and then July maybe nothing happens. Even though they get that, we set up shop in Arlington, Texas. Or get your collision on.
Get your collision on. Collide.
Hey man, listen, everyone's talking about the benefits of it. I'm like, Arlington, Texas, my nigga. There's about 2,500 people in Arlington, Texas alone. You think they're going to come to all 4 shows every fucking weekend?
Bro, I mean, we're seeing
Hank Hill, Dale Gribble. Who else going to show up? Bill Dotrieve.
We're seeing the change here though in real time. Like they're moving it. They're moving their dates out. I think it's a good idea. We questioned it last year why they would have those 2 pay-per-views back to back. I don't quite remember the pay-per-view numbers on that. But
it was actually All Out. It didn't do that bad.
Yeah, it didn't do that bad. I think that, but the thing is, to be All Out, then you got to be All Out now. And I think that All Out now,
bar it up,
would do a lot worse this year. I just got a hunch that I think that it would do a lot worse this year than it did last year.
But also, All Out had initially it was promoted. CM Punk was going to be there, all these other things, and then that's where it all happened and all went down. So it's kind of like they had to do a lot last year to kind of like make up for it.
Yes.
And it didn't come up bad necessarily, but I don't know if you're gonna be able to replicate that again, especially with so many stars out. We have no idea when MJF is coming back. There's no idea when Adam Cole's coming back. No idea when Kenny Omega's coming back. I don't know what the attraction is for this fucking show. It's besides it being in Chicago.
I mean, technically, it's not Chicago.
It's not this year.
No, I don't think it wasn't last year either. It was in
No, yesterday it was in. Oh, I mean Chicago adjacent.
It is in Hoffman Estates, Illinois. I will tell you, our Chicago listeners will tell you that it's not Chicago. Like our Chicago listeners will literally be like, "Do not say it is not Chicago."
The Now Arena, formerly known as the Sears Center. Gotcha, gotcha.
I actually think that's not even what they usually. That's not even the Rosemont that they usually do. I could be wrong, but that's not even.
No, they usually use the United Center, and they are not using the United Center.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, they've been to the. They were at the Now Arena for 2021 and 2022, and also the Sears Center. So they've used it before, but last year was United Center because there was big shit popping, and the shit ain't popping no more. I'll tell you that right now.
I mean, we're gonna take a look at the pay-per-view, but this thing is interesting. Also, in other news, big time. This is CW type news too. This is a CW type vibe. This is guest star on what's it called? Cloverfield. What's the shit called? Riverdale. This yo, I'm old, son.
No, this is fucking Brandy showing up on Moesha. This is
Sexy Red is allegedly reportedly going to be on NXT next week, and this comes from
she said it. She said there's no reportedly. She said she was going to be on NXT next week.
Yeah, so I mean that's going to happen. Listen, I think the one thing that NXT has managed to do above all else is have a diverse roster. Number one, have really great women on that roster as well, but also kind of at the very least try to attempt to gain a younger audience than the actual main shows do.
Right.
And I think this is a good move. I don't know what it will draw, but I think that it will definitely like Sexy Red next to fucking Roxanne Perez alone is making me die.
Sexy Red, Ariana Grace. That's what I want to see. That's the future I want to live in.
Ariana Grace coming up and saying, "So, Hellcats and SRTs, what did you want a outing?"
Oh my god. This is the potential. Please make it live. This is this is LeVar Ball on Raw potential, in my opinion.
Listen, Sexy's team is they have their pulse on what makes Sexy Red work. I think that wrestling fans outside of the kind of the niche culture that we kind of speak to, I think that it will not be normal for them to see her on there. I think that they won't get it. I think that your Meltzers, I mean, your Cornettes, all those people, they're not going to understand what a Sexy Red is. Even though Cornette seemed to have a understanding of Kendrick Lamar versus Drake that I thought was strange. It was quite the clip. But they're not going to understand this. I think this is strictly for a certain subset, and I would just love to see Shawn Michaels next to Sexy Red. I think that would be fucking hilarious. She has a song that samples his theme song. So
she absolutely does, and I'm sure to get that sample clear, she had to appear on the show. Similar to Uzi and Nakamura. It was like, oh, you want that sample clear? We got a spot at Mania open. You know,
it makes sense. It makes sense. I mean, people reference it long enough, and I think there's a bunch of people that they reference that ultimately are still in the company and that they can work with. So shout out to NXT. That's a pretty cool. I won't say like it's a big get. I think it's pretty cool though. I think it's really cool.
I think, yeah, it's pretty cool. I can't say anything else. I have no idea what to expect. I'm legitimately like, how are they incorporating her into the show in a natural way, but also like, how do we stop Sexy Red from going full Sexy Red at the same time?
Yeah, she's not media trained.
That's what I'm saying. It's like legitimately after they had this like obviously a couple weeks back, they had obviously like Sexy Red tweeted about NXT this week. They did it. That was the beginning of the synergy, right? And then like a couple moments after, I think she's doing something in a locker room or something of the rather. I forgot what the video was, but I was just like, bro, what?
Or her like leg spread. She's on the chair.
Yeah, I was just like, all right, cool.
Hey man, that's that young fly fresh and flashy attitude, bro. Come on now.
This is true. This is true. Hey, we said Speed would be crazy, but Speed apparently knows how to read and conduct himself in front of adults backstage. So hey, you know what I'm saying?
Have you seen the meme that I Show Speed allegedly stinks, and anyone that gets next to him is always like holding their nose next to him? Like there are literal hundreds of videos where people like don't get too close to him, or they're like holding their nose next to him because he stinks.
That's crazy. I kind of believe it because I feel like the youth just in general
stinks.
Yeah, they don't take as much showers. They don't wash their hair as much as they probably should. Keep it above with you. I see a lot of like matty hair on the train and shit like that. Use some soap, nigga. Come on.
Yeah.
You on WWE TV now. Come on.
Get on your fucking job, man. Get on your job. But another thing that has come up, the WrestleMania documentary. Remember that?
Oh yeah, that was supposed to come out.
Supposed to come out the Wednesday after WrestleMania ended. We are almost in June. It is still not out. Cody Rhodes did an interview recently where
this show was probably supposed to be 10 minutes long.
it was on Busted Open Radio, who again, listen, shout out to Bubba Ray Dudley, bro, because he's like, yo, that's how we do. Do we have to show up on WWE TV in order to get guests at this point?
I'd say that seems how it's going to be, because that podcast has been churning him out. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I mean, you showing up on WWE TV, you can't make something shake. You know what I'm saying?
Let me make some calls. Let me make some calls, baby. So
we gotta at least get that Jade interview that we've been sitting on for the last 2 years.
Yeah, now that we can do it. But so he was on Busted Open Radio, and he revealed some really interesting news about what's going to be in that documentary. And when he learned of the Rock versus Roman Reigns, which was the original plan. So he says that it's revealed in the documentary and might put things in a different perspective for people. I found out the possibility of the Rock versus Roman Reigns the day of the Royal Rumble. I had to leave the room, head up, and make sure no one knew what could possibly happen, and probably one of the more difficult days I've had in the wrestling business. But how can I complain when you're winning the Royal Rumble and you're pointing at the sign? It was such a high, such a low. And he also revealed that he was not supposed to point at Roman Reigns. He was supposed to point at Seth Rollins, and he went into business for himself essentially and pointed at Roman Reigns. Now, do you believe that part? I believe the part that he knew. I don't believe the part that like I'm up in the air about believing that he fucking went into business for himself and pointing at Roman and all that shit.
First of all, Seth and Roman were sitting right next to each other.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that part. I believe, it makes his Royal Rumble press conference comments feel a lot more real.
Yeah.
Because he was talking about like, I just remember him specifically having something to say about like putting butts in seats and working, and my dad always like saying something of the rather, and he seemed very, very like defensive about like rumors that were going on about how The Rock could possibly he seemed very, very like defensive. Like he was trying to like claim his own spot.
Right.
And because the rumors had been out there at the time, and I remember everyone was debating it, and we were like, yo, shut the fuck up. It should be Cody. It doesn't make any sense. It would be otherwise. But that's very interesting, and it's kind of like an interesting thing to hold on to at the same time.
Right.
What were your kind of thoughts on it?
Well, before I get to the Brian Gewirtz thoughts, I think that, and we talked about it on our chat this week, I think that like I think the build to WrestleMania 40 is something that we'll probably never ever get the true story behind. Even when we get that documentary, it's heavily edited. I think one side's going to say something, another side's going to say the other thing. I'm just glad that they were able to do this amicably and professionally, regardless of whose feelings were hurt at the time, right?
But it seems like Cody saying this is going into business for himself again. He's like, if you see anything different, just make sure the real story's out there.
Well, he won.
I mean,
he won. You know what I'm saying? Like,
but the story, the road was a lot harder to get there, winning this time than just like if they kept it the same exact way.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. So Brian Gewirtz was on the Masked Man show, and he said that the Cody promo on the February 2nd SmackDown right after was supposed to be a little different. So he says the idea was supposed to be, it's like the Nixon Kennedy debate a little bit, where you read the transcript and you're like, Nixon kicked his ass, but if you watch the actual footage, he was a sweaty, terrible mess. Cody, it was supposed to be in some form, yeah, fucking A, go get him, Rock. You're going to get your ass kicked, Roman. Let's do this. And this uplifting promo. Instead, he looked like someone shot his dog in the face in the parking lot. Just look at his expression. By the way, someone else, even when the team wins, looks forlorn and upset and despondent. Julius Randle. Okay. That I don't think help matters.
He's a Knicks fan. Yeah, he's a Knicks fan. It is what it is.
It might not have changed or affected anything. Certainly on paper, I don't blame Cody for that. He's real and one of the realest people I've ever met. He said what he had to say in the promo, but you can't mask what he was really feeling. And I think the fans felt that a lot. Like they felt he doesn't mean a word of this. This is being forced for him to say. He's despondent. He's literally doing the Michael Cera Arrested Development Charlie Brown walk out of the arena when he's supposed to be on cloud 9. Here's my thing with this, and what pisses me off about the Rock side, and what always pisses me off about the Rock side, what made them think that any of this was ever going to go over well? Like he's talking about it like in a way, kind of like
Cody fucked it up.
Yeah, like kind of jabbing, right? And it's just like, well, Cody's smart. Seth, even when Seth cut that dumbass promo on the Raw after that, he was smart too. He's just like, what the fuck? This is dumb. The fans, like Meelz, the fans, you were there. We watched it. The fans wholly rejected it. They loved it when The Rock came out. And when Cody did what he did, they turned on it. They started booing.
All WWE videos started getting thumbs down. All comments and things were being, it was bad on social media for like a whole weekend.
Like Cody did not, regardless of if he gave the fucking A or anything, that was not going to go over well. Cody had nothing to do with that reception. Like that, like he's trying to make it seem like he was like the puppet master.
Yeah,
these fans acting. I'm like, no, we would have been pissed if he went along with it, or if he didn't go along with it. I hate the twist that Cody was doing all of this, because I feel like that's just completely that's just ridiculous to think of. Like people were going to turn on this regardless of what happened, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can't see a world where they wouldn't turn on this, even with a lot of things. Like we heard some things that were speculated to what could have happened, and one of them is kind of like outside. But we've heard some things that might have happened during this entire circumstance, and it just seemed like a dumb idea from the beginning to like have Cody win the Royal Rumble but not get the match,
and then be happy about it.
Get him, Rock. Get him, man. You got him, Rock.
What story, Mr. Gewirtz, is any of that ever cool? Like, is any of that shit okay? Like, that shit is, again, it pisses me. It ended the way that it was supposed to end, and I'm glad that it did. And I think, honestly, I said this before, like, if it ends the other way, I think that AEW gets a major foothold, and it's right, because you're basically saying fuck your fans again. I think WrestleMania's 40's build is WWE firmly saying we care about what the fans say. We might not always get there when it's time, but we ultimately get the story to where it's supposed to be at, where you actually can feel good about investing your time in this shit. And that's really what the whole argument was, is that we invested 2 years into this. Give us the actual story. Give us the ending of the story.
Now, next year it might be slow for Cody. I'll give it a bug with you.
If he's The Rock, he got to get his win back. I think ultimately, to me, if that's what they're gonna do next Mania, Cody should probably get his win back in some way, shape, or form. But I mean, it's slow for Cody is gonna be. It's crazy to say, Meelz, because you got to think of it like this. Cody is now carrying this company without Roman for the next 6 months, right?
Right.
And ultimately, you got to give him something. I think at best he might not get night 2 main event if it's going to be Rock Roman, but if he gets Rock, it's going to be night 2 main event. Period. Straight up. Isn't that the match you're more excited for at this point anyway?
I'm excited for Cody Rock, but I also do feel like we're not going to not have Roman involved somehow.
Of course.
So I'm kind of like on the fence of like where the direction will actually go, because Mania is a long time from now, and
Right.
they've got a lot of decisions to make. And I'm sure Roman is like, I mean, could Roman work with fucking Solo? Probably, but he's not going to want to. And I don't think that's the best use of Roman, to be honest with you.
Yeah. Something will have to happen, whether it be Rock Cody at Rumble or Rock Cody at Mania. Something big.
They can always continue to also do Seth Roman if they wanted to, or Punk Roman.
Yeah,
I think those are big caliber matches as well. But we'll see. We'll see. Vegas is a long time away.
It's a glimmer. It is a glimmer in thy eye at this point. So,
right.
Let's get to some predictions. But before we get to like big sweeping King of the Ring predictions, there's another pay-per-view happening, right? Like, is it this week or is it next week? Did we do that next week? Oh, it's this fucking week? Jesus.
That's what I said. I said both of them are this week. So yes, we're not predicting both. We could talk about. We'll leave the prediction for the War Report.
It's cooked. It's cooked.
It's not. I don't even think they're the same day.
They're not, but it's still cooked.
AEW Double or Nothing. It's this weekend.
Does this feel hot? Does this show feel hot?
I don't fucking watch this show, so nothing feels hot to me.
I'll tell you right now, this show don't feel hot. I think that they don't have hot characters. I think that having a championship contender match with the champion actually in the contender match is crazy on a pay-per-view. Like, if you don't want to have Moxley like lose a belt or defend a belt, don't put him on the show. Like, I agree. We don't need 9 matches, and plus the extra 3 that you're going to add at the end. I mean, we would be remiss to not even bring up the fact that one of their kind of big stars is actually injured. That's Eddie Kingston. He tore his ACL.
One of their big stars is crazy, but yes, he did tear his.
He is big, so
I mean, star though. It's a.
Hey, I'm just saying.
I mean, you give it a lot of credit, so you know what? If they'll take it, the AEW contingency will take it. The Colliders will take it. With that said, I'm sure this pay-per-view is on its way to being one of the best pay-per-views that's ever existed.
Yeah, it's the best pay-per-view of all time already.
Yeah, so, yeah, easily.
Tony Khan just opened his mouth. Someone hand him a 7-star match right now. So someone hand him best booker of the year right now.
All right, so what one on this card sticks out to you?
Willow Nightingale versus
you hit the wop. I don't know, bro. Like
Willow Nightingale versus Mercedes Moné. Sasha Mercedes, first match.
Triple main event, by the way. This is what they're billing it as. Triple main event. Yeah, so everyone's happy.
No one's feeling scared hurt. First match in what, a year, 2 years? Her first match?
First match since
last summer?
I guess a year. Yeah, last year. Yeah.
Last summer. So good on that. Do you think that Willow loses the title in 30 days?
Yes. But last week I was listening to the War Report. Actually, not last week. On Sunday, while I was fucking tearing my fucking Achilles, I was listening to the War Report, and they made a good shout to Cyrus and Quan. They made a good kind of assessment on this feud. I don't think they know. I don't think either lady really knows what's going on in this feud, because the promos reflect that. The promos reflect a lack of cohesion, a lack of purpose, and they seem to be kind of all over the place in terms of direction on kind of how they wanted to go. Because when this kind of started, when this program was hinted at, it was like, is Mercedes Moné going to be the face and Willow Nightingale the aggressor? Willow Nightingale feigns on the first night to want to hit Mercedes with a steel chair. Does she have some sort of animosity built towards her for this moment? We don't know. But by the end of it, by like last week, Wednesday, Monet is full healing it up, talking about God knows who, know what. Willow Nightingale is talking about the legacy of TBS for whatever reason. It's like this champion is part of the legacy of TBS, and the 20 years of wrestling has been on TBS, and the face of TBS. And I'm like, wait, and this is where I agreed with them. I was like, wait, are we battling for revenge or who's going to be the face of TBS?
Yes,
Because
fighting for the sanctity of Atlanta Braves baseball. Yes.
right. Like, is this about revenge? Like, because I feel like it would have been easier to plot this out about revenge, right? Even if you turn Mercedes Moné heel, where it's like it has overcome her to get that revenge, and she eventually does turn on her. Or
there has been nothing physically for her to turn to in terms of being a heel. There has been no turning point for her. She showed up, been on TV, and then she said, "You know what? I'm just be a heel."
yeah, this is my bag. Like she's just completely. It's weird. It's just. I think both these ladies, they're gonna do it in the ring. It is what it is. I think this feud deserved more, but again, it is what it is. People are just excited to get here. I heard a lot of talk. I've listened to various other platforms where people are just like, the thing that's missing with Mercedes Moné is the in-ring work, to the in-ring stuff to make everything seem to pretty much add context to everything. It's like, oh, but she's missing everything, just the in-ring stuff. And I'm like, I disagree so hard with that. Like, because while Mercedes Moné is great in the ring, she's not great enough to overcome the deficiencies she has as a character.
I mean, in fact, the deficiencies are actually becoming even more glaring to a point where they're almost indefensible now, Meelz. Like you can't defend a lot of the stuff that is going on and what she's saying or how she presents herself, because it's literally the stuff that I think we got hidden from. Like if they weren't going to, if Sasha wasn't going to be good at promos, right? Like they'll just have her do a match and not do a promo. You know what I'm saying? Like back in WWE days, like you think about it, she didn't cut that many promos, or at least promos that were that fucking long, like they were on Dynamite. Like they kind of hid that from us. But I think here it's like even the diehard fans have to recognize that this isn't going the way that you want it to go. And I think that the crowd is going to revolt or really turn their backs on this if Mercedes does win. So I'm not really sure. And you can't have her lose her first match. And
Yeah.
if her first match ends in a DQ, Meelz, then me and you need to laugh for 5 minutes next week. 5 minutes straight.
Yeah, well, I'll try to make it happen. But no, I posted a clip last week also because Mercedes was in another contract signing. I mean, we haven't talked about what resulted from it. There was a contract signing between Willow Nightingale and Mercedes Moné, and there's a contract signing between Bianca Belair and Sasha Banks. And you're probably like, why does this matter? This has happened years ago. But to me, it kind of shows how clearly defined two different characters are, and kind of like how it eventually led to this hostile kind of like it led to this hostile kind of like interaction between the two, because again, they were both faces at one point. Eventually Sasha turns heel. By the way, Sasha and Mercedes Moné are interchangeable. They are one and the same. They are not that different. There's no different streaks. There's no different paint of the brush. It's literally the same person. But like you kind of see clear as day of like the I use deficiencies not only just in her character, but in the AEW writing just in general, of not being able to keep a consistent story going for this long-term purpose. And not even so Mercedes got attacked backstage by somebody, and we don't even know who it was. And it hasn't even factored into the story.
Probably gonna be Willow.
But you turned Willow heel for Mercedes?
I don't know, man. Or maybe Chris that. I don't know. This is stupid. It's dumb. Anyway, we've been talking too long about this. So the matches are Roderick Strong, Will Ospreay. I'm throwing my hands up at that. These motherfuckers are stupid. If you don't have anything for Will Ospreay to do, keep him off TV. Right? Am I wild?
I agree. No, you're not wilding. I just think, yeah, I wouldn't have put him in this match. I feel like him versus the Don Callis people, whoever of them are left, or him versus literally most other people, but in an international championship match seems kind of
Now he
bad.
gotta win. But here's the thing, now he gotta win. And then down the line, he gotta lose. So it's dumb. Timeless Tony Storm versus Serena Deeb. Adam Copeland versus Malachi Black, flop era. John Moxley versus Takeshita, flop era. Trent Beretta versus
I
Orange
like
Cassidy.
Takeshita. I like Takeshita.
He ain't
He's
winning.
got to, yeah, he's got to invite. What again? Rob brought up. Shout out to Ugly New York. Why are we having an eliminator match on a pay per view? Like, why are we having either make it for the championship or have Takeshita fight for a number one contender spot so he can face you at Forbidden Door? But don't put an eliminator match on the pay per view.
Chris Jericho versus probably Hook for the FTW. Why is this real? Why is this championship real? Do you know?
No. I don't know. No. I think he likes old ECW.
Jesus Christ. The Elite versus Team AEW, random niggas. And one nigga got hit by a bus, anarchy in the arena.
And Bryan Danielson was already hurt and supposed to was admitted that his doctor told him you probably need surgery.
You know what? I don't care. I'm gonna be real. Swerve Strickland versus what's your read on Swerve? I know we don't like the motherfucker, but in terms of just a character, what's your read on this this whole thing right now?
People are gonna hate, but they shouldn't have put the title on him. That's all I can say. I was like, dude, realistically, they shouldn't have put the title on him. There was way more to heat up. And people's defense of this is why the internet's so fucking weird. People's defense of this is like, this isn't WWE. We don't need to go through the whole rigmarole. I'm like, bro, as a character, you are doing him a disservice by being the second-rate champion that no one gives a shit about against a challenger who was just named, who had also lost his last match. Like,
No, that should have been the eliminator. That should have been him. It should have been Christian and somebody else that Swerve is beaten on the road to getting the championship and an eliminator.
Yeah,
but the thing is, you know what?
Christian versus Samoa Joe. Listen,
but that handcuffs the Meelz because they got rankings.
They didn't even use rankings to determine this contender. That's why this doesn't make any sense to me. But maybe it's the new Bucks era. Bucks don't use rankings. I don't know what they got configured up now, but
we still don't know.
Yeah, Swerve, to me, he gonna say this is fly, but it's not. It's just not. Shout out to him.
Just because it's black, bro.
That's what I'm saying, but it's like people swear this shit is the writing's bad. He got beat up by his own crew and then beat them back up like 3 days later. It wasn't even any like, I don't know.
What's to stop them from coming out and interfering? I just feel like the Christian match is going to be like most Christian matches, which is really overbooked.
Hey man, Christian can go.
It's about to be like it's about to be. But come on, his matches are all overbooked. You know this.
EB wrestling. Come on, man, give it to Christian.
You just won't stop. Huh? You just won't.
He's 50 years old. I like Christian. What's wrong with Christian?
He's a sucker, bro. He's terrible now. He's not good in AEW no more.
I say he's better than his friend who's trying to prove himself to be a really good wrestler.
A good hardcore wrestler. There's a barbed wire cage. I didn't even mention that the Copeland Malachi match is a barbed wire cage match.
I think Edge needs to
go home.
I think he don't have to prove himself. I don't think he needs. There's nothing. Maybe he's proven it to himself, but I don't even think he needs to do that. I just think, I don't know, bro. I'm over it. Double or nothing.
Double or nothing, y'all. Will I be watching? No. But King and Queen of the Ring.
Oh, we should talk about Raw and SmackDown before we get to Queen and King of the Ring. Just really quick,
Okay.
so we can fit in this the Braun Breaker jazz and all this other shit that happened on fucking SmackDown and Raw.
Mello and Orton. I think Mello's he's gonna be fine.
He's gonna be fine. Before the match, I was like, this is gonna look really funny because Randy Orton's like 6'4", and Mello's like 5'4".
I like the story they told that
I do as well.
He couldn't keep up. And every time Mello did try and kind of break through, Randy's used his size to overpower him, and it really just came down to Mello's hubris and him being new. I think that a lot of people really question like putting NXT folks against like established stars. I think it's the best way to get people to pay attention to what they do.
Amen. But you know who wasn't as giving? LA Knight. LA Knight said, excuse me, little nigga. He says, actually,
they set up like 2 programs for LA Knight. I'm gonna be real. I haven't hated what he's been doing lately.
I haven't. He's in his bag. This is right where he's supposed to be.
He is exactly where he's supposed to be. I thought that people were upset. I think I saw a couple people be upset about the LA Knight Tama Tonga thing. I said, what did you think it was gonna be? Like what did you think it was gonna be? With all those matches on SmackDown on a 2-hour show, you thought it was about to get 15?
That nigga growling to me. Just I was like, oh, okay. He doesn't speak.
He is giving, but here's the thing: he's making the most of his opportunity right now. Like he is consistently talked about week to week on that show, and I think that's his best. That's his best as he could get right now. Is that he's consistently talked about. I mean, from the street fight at Backlash, his entrance or his debut in SmackDown to last week, it's like everyone's always talking about Tama Tonga, and I think that it's quite interesting.
Right. Tiffany Stratton is really good.
Yes.
Albeit poor decision maker, but
to say the least.
Yeah, but really good in the ring. I can't think of someone who has impressed me more in a short amount of time than Tiffany Stratton.
It is best for her to limit her social media use, in my opinion, because she should probably stay off.
Do what Maxine does.
Yeah. Do it. Get ready with me.
Get ready with me. Maxine love a good man.
I enjoy her TikToks. They're really good.
Just her reviewing coffees and like, get ready with me. I'm packing for Monday Night Raw. Here's what boots and bustiers I'm gonna wear and shit like that.
And but also, I thought she was really good on Raw this week. I think that I think she's getting better.
No. Yo, I legitimately got a text like that from my friend. It was like, yo, is Maxine getting better? I was like, she is amazing to be. So
she is getting better, and I want her to stick it to all those people that shit on her and that was talking shit about her for a couple weeks ago. I think she's actually getting a lot better. But Jay Cargill,
just about to say that. How do you feel about the booking of Jade?
I was like, there's no way either of them should lose. I had to put my hands up there and I said, so how are they going to do it? And I was like, that was the perfect way to do it. That was how you do it. You do it that way. You got a viral moment out of it. Also, Nia's good for it. She's going to give you a viral moment. Get your viral moment. Have your little attack. I think it got a little loosey-goosey when they were trying to break that barrier or whatever the fuck they were trying to do. But other than that, the segment came off really well for me. And I think that you have a personal vendetta there that leads to a match that makes perfect sense. And I think you got to do Nia and Tiffany versus the Black Bombshells.
I could see it. I could absolutely see it. Even though I guess we've crowned new number one contenders at this point, but hey, we've crowned new victims on Raw.
Yeah, they're about to get clapped. I'm not even not even looking at that. They're getting clapped.
But I loved the Nia and Jade thing. I was like, what good business, you know?
Yeah, really good. Listen, they're doing right by Jade, okay? And as a babyface for you to cheer for, bringing her kid in was the perfect move to me because it gets you sympathy on her. Like, it's really hard to get sympathy on somebody that looks like Jade.
Right.
I'm saying? Like, it's very hard to get sympathy for somebody that, like, just look at her. How can you be sympathetic towards her? She has a perfect everything.
And
But
shout out to her kid. He was like, "Your mom sucks." No, she doesn't. Good for her. Killed it.
Top tier acting. She's been watching. She's a worker. Jade's
Hey,
kid is a
man.
worker.
We ain't never seen none of that in AEW. AEW, I used to feel bad for her because she used to have to sit through the shows and wait for her mother to show up. Oh my god. Great business there.
Real good stuff. Real good stuff there. Anything else happening on SmackDown? They're mentioning the QR codes now. So are we thinking that it's imminent that we get this new Wyatt family?
Yeah, but I'm not excited for it. So we'll see.
I'm not excited. Listen, I look at the roster, Meelz, and I say, who is gonna lay down for these people? Who is going to fuel these people for an extended amount of time? This type of gimmick don't work as a group, much less a singular person like Bray Wyatt was, right?
Much less Bo Dallas.
much less Bo Dallas and Eric Rowan and whoever the fuck they're trying to get in this little squad. I am cautiously thumbs down on this. I'm hoping to be proven wrong, but I just don't see these people doing anything cool. They should not be winning titles. They should not be doing it. Like, I think we got a good roster here, and there's a bunch of people struggling to even get on TV, and you're getting a lot of fucking bullshit here. I am completely against this new Wyatt family shit. It ain't even hitting the same. Who's looking at these QR codes and trying to decipher them shits?
Yeah, I'm not doing all that shit anymore.
Like the Bray Wyatt, we were at least at the very least like very intrigued by all of that stuff.
I love Bray. Yeah,
I don't give a shit about this. I think you could. I honestly just think you should just leave the Bray stuff alone. Like, bring Bo back on his own. I think he'd get enough love and support just being himself.
I agree.
I don't know. Anyway,
Monday night? Yeah. We'll talk about Cody Logan for the show.
Okay, yeah. Raw, really good matches again. Io and Lyra was that crack.
Wow. Wow. I was like, wow, she won. Wow.
Is there any question that Io Sky is one of the best wrestlers, not even just female wrestlers on the planet after that?
Nah, it can't be. Not on paper, not on nothing, bro. She's one of the best. Like, that was amazing. That was a great match. A great match. It was going up against a great WNBA thing. I was on ESPN as well, so I was like flipping back. I was like, damn, women are really killing it right now.
20-minute match on Raw. I don't think this has happened like ever. Like, 20-minute match on Raw is crazy. You also had it's to me, Raw was very go home-ish for sure. I think the major angle there was the Bron Breakker thing, and
Bron wow out.
I said last week I liked this story. I liked that you actually had a wrestler call out, like, all you guys are doing is giving me squash matches, and I'm tired of doing that. I don't want a squash match. I want competition. So I think like the natural progression is that you do kind of do Ilya versus Bron, but I'm like, damn, is it too early for that? Like, is it too early for Ilya versus Bron?
I think so, yeah. I think that's probably why he's Ricochet ended up getting the boot, right?
Yeah.
But part of me also feels like you got to get to a point where we got to save Bron from himself at some point. I like him, but I'm afraid for him sometimes because I think he does things with reckless abandon where you need to be a lot more not careful, but necessarily understand things are going on. He ran into Cale Dixon. Cale was with the referee at the time, so he'd already been speared and he'd already lost the match. He ran into him with his head.
Yeah, he did. That was scary.
I was like, what are you doing? Like, I understand he couldn't get the full spear. First of all, he bounced 4 different times. So you're building up to this thing, right? And then you spear him with your head. And I was like, oh, you're crazy. Like, calm down. So we'll see how it goes. But this is a retread of Vaughn. Shout out to Vaughn, RP Vaughn Wagner.
Yeah.
Even though he's alive, but character dead.
Yeah. I mean, the Bron thing's cool because again, you set up two programs. I think Raw is doing a lot of setting up. And I think with Raw and SmackDown, they're doing a lot of setting up. It's time for them to start like flipping the switch on some of this stuff. You know what I mean? Like I know that King of the Ring was kind of the focus for the last month, which is understandable. They don't do that very often, but I think it's time to flip the switch on Braun Breaker. It's time to flip the switch on Ilya Dragunov. It's time to flip the switch on whatever the fuck they're doing with these QR codes. Let's see what y'all got cooking at this point.
Okay. I think
Judgment Day 2. Let's flip the fucking switch, please.
Yeah, Judgment Day got to get out of here. How do you feel about I don't know, the Carlito thing. I like Carlito, so I'm still fine with it. But yeah, this is a lot of like, what are we doing? God damn.
Yeah,
and Braun Strowman being involved to me is just like, huh? Okay, all right.
Because I feel like they're waiting for the Wyatt shit. I think they're going to be on Raw. There's more time to do that shit on Raw. That's what I think they do. Like I think it's going to be Strowman fighting those guys. Which if that's what it is, cool. I'm straight with that. I'm okay with that.
I think they've also started setting up Drew and Damian at Clash at the Castle as well.
Here's my thing with that. Do you do Drew Damian and then have him go right to Punk after that?
We got to.
Yeah.
It's definitely Drew versus Damian. Either Damian loses or Drew loses. I could take whichever one at this point.
I would really love Braun Breaker versus CM Punk.
Baron Corbin bowling highlights. Did you really love that?
That was funny. I fuck with Baron Corbin now, man. I fuck with him, bro.
He's just a regular. He seemed like a regular guy.
Yeah, he's like a cool nigga, man. Not gonna lie, but I would love Braun Breaker versus CM Punk.
That would be cool. I think he would move way too fucking fast for CM Punk.
But that's the point. Slow it's like down. It's like he want to break the old man. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it's my world now, old man.
I think that would be something CM Punk would be open to for sure, though.
Yeah, like just trying to like I want to break CM Punk like Bane.
Right.
You feel me? Like you want to kill that. I think that'd be hard. But how do you
feel about the Alpha Academy stuff?
Gable's listen. This company, not for nothing, does not have a lack of talent. Let's just be clear there. They do not have a lack of talent in any way, shape, or form. I think that the stuff that the character work that Gable has been doing has been really, really good. I think
he got time on this show.
Yeah.
He got time. He was in the first segment. He had a match. There was a post-match whatever thing. He talking to the Creeds. They got time. It's a go-home show, yes, but he got time.
But I think ultimately, right, with that comes the advancement of Otis, which I thought was a good through line through the episode, and I think people want to cheer. Love him or hate him, Meelz. People want to cheer him. They want to cheer Otis.
People want to cheer Otis.
They want to cheer him. But I also feel like when it leads to where he goes from here, I think you kind of got to do the Alpha, the American, not American Alpha, the Creed Brothers stuff.
Brothers, yeah.
That's another one where they're kind of like teasing it, and then they added another layer with Sonya Deville coming back this week, and this is like more teasing. The Judgment Day shit is more. I'm like, bro, flip the switch. Like, they must be setting up for a huge Raw where a bunch of stuff happens, like they did. What was it, a couple weeks ago, where all that shit happened on Raw, and we were like, this is the best Raw ever.
I think they have a lot of characters that they're trying to get on the show, but they also want to make these moments kind of mean things. So it's kind of like taking along for certain things. Like the Otis turn on Gable will eventually happen. I think that could be. I think that could potentially even be a SummerSlam match.
Right.
But it's going to eventually happen. But I also think when it does happen, the Creeds will get involved, and that's when this turn will happen.
Mm-hmm.
They've got this New Day Karrion Kross thing, which honestly should be a layup for Karrion Kross at this point. I mean, it's the New Day, their beloved Karrion Kross. He should not lose this feud. It should be a layup.
There's just so much setup, man.
Yeah, the Sonya thing I also think is Sonya's such a good talker, and like okay in the ring. Like you don't really miss her if she's in the ring. um, that I think pairing her with Baszler and Zoe Stark as even a mouthpiece, or it could be a third person, or whoever it is still a good idea.
Yeah, because she shouldn't be wrestling in any capacity. Did you notice the Kiana James setup again? I'm just like, there's more setup.
Kiana James, like, yeah, anything for me to do? There's She's a man in a stretcher right now. Okay.
She's like, anything? Okay, bye. I'm just like, huh? What
and she literally just goes back around the corner and goes back on her phone.
So weird. I'm just like, man, just flip the switch, bro. Flip the fucking switch. Like, I understand you getting everybody on the show, but just flip the switch. I'm just, if you're not ready for them, don't put them on. You know.
Let me ask you one more thing. Well, we got a couple more things to go through. One more thing also. Liv Morgan.
That was terrible. It was probably the down point of Raw for me.
I was not. I feel like she hasn't found it yet with the heel side of Liv Morgan. And I'm like, okay, I'll give it some time because this is new. We're still working through it. I have a lot of trust in Liv. I like Liv, so I'm willing to give her the time. But the promo seemed like the Becky and Liv promo. It seemed very like
Liv was on
low hanging fruit. Oh, you only care about yourself. It was like, bitch, so the fuck what?
Liv was on one side of the street and Becky was on the other side of the street.
Yeah, I was just like, what are we? Who cares?
Liv hit the you really. I said she forgot her line.
She does not know what the fuck she's talking about.
Yeah, sorry. I was like, she forgot her line. I said, you really. I said, yep, that's what you do live. You get your line.
Yeah, I just think I don't think there's any real meat on the bone for this feud. One, because we've seen it a while, and even when we saw it last time, the promos weren't that great, but it did make Liv into a star. But also, we know that this isn't Liv's destination. Ultimately, it's Rhea. Yeah. And the big reveal happened with Rhea, because again, we saw Liv coming out the car, Finn Balor coming out the same car.
I'm mad that I keep missing this. Well, so okay,
like, oh, you a nasty girl.
I should save this for
Patreon. Nasty.
What was she doing in the truck with the boy?
She's being a nasty girl.
What was she doing in the Range Rover with the boy?
Come on, listening to Tinashe. You know what I'm
saying? Then you notice Dom shaved his mustache.
Oh, he did.
Yeah, there's a bunch of like little things happening, but it's like, get to it already. So is the idea here that Finn essentially is being influenced by Liv to cut bait with Damian and Rhea? Is that the idea?
I have no idea, because I feel like the Dom split has been simmering for a while.
Right.
The Damian split has been simmering for a while. He's just not happy with these niggas. He's just like, might as well fire him. He seems like a very disgruntled boss. Like one of them bosses are just like, I don't even know why y'all come to work. Because this is some bullshit. Liv, we're not really sure of like what's going on there, because it hasn't been brought into the foreground yet. But they're waiting. I'm assuming they're waiting for Rhea to eventually come back. But even this, this Becky feud to me,
meh. I'd rather Becky be feuding with Lyra or Io or someone right now, because it just feels like she's a stepping stone, and I feel like she's holding the title until Rhea gets back, so Rhea and Liv can have the title match that they should have. Like, I think that I'm glad like they have a champion that was notable that they could have had on the show, but I think at the end of the day, the hottest program in the company is something that Rhea is going to be doing, and the hottest thing that will be Rhea and Becky when they run that back. Ultimately, right. Like, I'm just going to be real. I understand them trying. I am all for them trying with Liv as a bankable heel. I just don't think that for me right now it's working. It's not really working for me right
now. Okay, I see it. I'm the same way, so it is what it is.
Yeah, that was probably like the worst part of the show for me.
Yeah, I agree. And then the main event happened.
Gunther is good. What can I say?
Yeah, Gunther's fucking amazing. So
what can I say? Were you shocked that Jay lost?
No, because I could have gone either way, to be real with you. So yeah, I wasn't shocked that Jay lost.
Yeah.
I could have gone either way. He lost straight up. It is what it is. He lost with like 4 seconds on Raw left.
His
It was like,
interest,
all right, we out of here.
his interests are getting better and better. I really like this week's entrance too.
He was like, you would think it was his Jay-Z Fade to Black with this nigga coming
Bro,
from
when he banged
backstage.
on the door, I said, "Oh, I hit the the Drake Lil Yachty when they at the computer."
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's where he is. No, but listen, man. I said this last week with Greg. Greg managed to make me think it was going to be Jay Icy Crown. I'm back to Gunther. Okay, back to what I said in the beginning that Bash in Berlin is on the way. Bash in Berlin OTW. So Gunther wins and he goes on, and now we have the semifinals on SmackDown with Orton and Tama Tonga. We haven't seen KO in about 3 weeks. I think we can put 2 and 2 together at this point, right?
I see. Yes, I think so.
I think we can put 2 and 2 together as to what's going to happen. Gunther Randy Orton is actually really strong. It's never happened before.
Randy might say, "Don't chop me like that, nigga."
I think if Randy wants to get the guy over, and I think if that's the case, when you think about it, this is the strongest person he could have gone against, because there is some semblance of that he might not be, like Gunther might have this happen. And even if Randy wins, it's a tip to the hat because he's never been King of the Ring before. So I think there's no losing here, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You got that.
I agree. Quick question.
And then we have Bianca. Before you get that question, we have Bianca and Nia Jax this week too. So
got that to look forward to. Quick question. The internet's been asking.
Oh no.
Where's Ricky?
Ricky who? Oh, Ricky Starks.
Ricky Starks, baby.
If he's smart, he's talking to a lawyer to attempt to get out of his contract right now.
I've been trying to tap people on the internet because people have been saying, "Oh, he's injured," and then he came out this week, did press, mind you, not on TV. Hot take. You want my take on it? I think he did the press without it being approved, because what are they going to do to him?
Because he's saying stuff that press would never approve. That's number one.
Yeah. But also, like, I'm sure he's coming to the end of his contract. What are they going to do if he's doing? Are they going to fire him? What are they going to do? Keep him off TV?
I don't think Ricky Starks is essential to that company. If they're not going to be doing anything, they should let him leave. I feel like there's a lot of people that honestly should go if they're not doing anything with them. Meelz, you know what I mean? Like I don't understand why they're still there. But you know, the fact that he has to go to interview and say, "I don't care what anybody says about CM Punk. He was good to me." I was like, well, but here's the thing. I got the opposite opinion on that. I'm like, Ricky, you know what that's gonna do. You know what fan base that's gonna rile up. I would have never said nothing like that, honestly.
My thing is, this is why I have such a strong feeling on this. It's because I've watched him in other interviews, and to me, it never felt like he was coming from a place where he felt like he was anyone's favorite in AEW.
Right.
It doesn't seem like he has it doesn't seem, not to say that he has a bad relationship, but it doesn't seem like he has a good relationship with the Bucks. Doesn't seem like he's being put in any opportunity to really succeed on a consistent basis. He's been given things and then dropped things. So I think that adds to a lot of animosity, because if you look at Ricky Starks' interviews outside of AEW, he has a lot of, I don't really care what people think, to be honest with you. I go in, I do my job, and I do my job the best way as I can, which doesn't follow the through line of, I love AEW, guys. Oh my God, it's such a great home for wrestling, and I'm glad wrestling has this, and blah, 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 blah. Two companies. He's not in support of tribalism, but he's also highly supportive in the Ricky Starks himself and getting himself over. And people pointing to that Edge promo and saying, like, this is the part where he, you know,
no, I don't agree with that.
Bro was kind of all over. I'm like, bro, that's not the part. First of all, Edge is a grown-ass man. And you don't need to work with Edge to be successful in any kind of wrestling business, not in 2024.
Yeah.
But I really do think it's that the fact he was shown so brazenly at WrestleMania, the fact that this is not his first time being shown at a WWE show, albeit not his fault.
Right.
But this is not, because usually we've heard about WWE talent going backstage at AEW to maybe support loved ones or doing all the other things, but you never really see them. And we've heard it the other way. Goldust was at WrestleMania, but we never saw Goldust. But Ricky, you've seen twice. So
listen, I'll just be real. I'm not the biggest fan of the guy's work, just in terms of in-ring, but I can recognize when like somebody's not being used, you know, the best. And I am very interested in how Tony is going to, in the next couple of months, deal with, you know, the fact that contracts are coming up and there's people that are not unhappy there, and the people that are cutting promos and interviews like this. Like, I think it's very interesting that they're doing this. Ricky is probably the top of the list of people that people are just like, let's let him go. So like, do you let him go? Do you kind of make that decision? That's a hard decision to make. You know what I'm saying? Like, he could find a pretty good home there, or he could end up like fucking Lexus King. You know what I mean? Like, it's sink or swim. I think that you got to get, like, what will he do? Who knows? But it's like, they got to make that decision now, Meelz.
I think if his contract is close to ending, you let him work out. You let him sit out the rest of his contract. I think if it's far, I think you cut. To be honest with you, they could use him. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not like you can't. He's not unusable.
But here's the thing: they can't, because like nothing that they're doing fits him. If that makes any sense,
he could have been part of fucking Team AEW versus the Bucks. Since he want to talk about AEW all that bad, and
he would have been fucking Scorpio Sky, bitch.
since Eddie Kingston got injured and they want to replace him with the guy who got hit by a fucking car,
because he's a bigger star, right? Like, it's just like,
who still says like, I'm still recovering from getting hit by a car. Like, I look at that. If I'm Ricky Starks, I look at that and I'm like, bro, y'all don't give a fuck about me. Y'all let the nigga who got hit by a car come in this match.
Yeah, listen, man. I feel for the guy. I hope he figures that part out. But I think that when it comes down to it, I think that he would probably keep him, bro. Like, for people at AEW, if they want to get re-signed or want to leave, that ultimately, Meelz, it comes down to, do you want the bag or not?
Yeah.
Do you want the bag or not? And I think more often than not, they want the bag over trying, starting all over again. And I think there's very few people that wanted to do that, bro. That's just what it is.
Right.
Let's get to King and Queen of the Ring. Pay-per-view.
10 a.m. your time.
Perfect. Breakfast. My day will continue after that. 5 matches though. Are you liking the five match era?
I'm perfect with 5 matches. Give me 5 matches. You know what I'm saying?
I'm
you gotta tell me twice.
So let's start with the King and Queen of the Ring matches. Obviously, we already know it's going to be Lyra Valkyria versus the SmackDown winner, and Gunther.
Sidebar: if I'm, mind you, they're having SmackDown in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia, so
yes,
there's more talent there.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm a WWE talent and they're like, you're only having 5 matches, these people are only coming to King Queen of the Ring, and it's Memorial Day weekend. Fuck out of here. I'll see y'all niggas Monday.
Yeah, like I don't think anyone's mad that they're not working this weekend.
Yeah. We gonna see all types of, we gonna see NXT pool parties on the gram and shit. You know how they be.
Yeah, I listen. I don't blame them, bro. Bron Breakker about to have a fish on the grill, bitch. Okay, Lyra Valkyria. Let's just say that it's Bianca Belair.
Okay. Lyra Valkyria, great to see you. Great to know you.
Do you give? Do you? I think it's gonna be the SmackDown winner, but do you give it to Bianca or do you give it to Nia at this point? Do you think that either of those? I think it's like the last thing Bianca's like not done. You know?
She doesn't want Money in the Bank, but
Oh, she hasn't. Yeah, you're right. She hasn't.
But
she hasn't had to. She's always got a fucking title.
Yeah, to be real with you, I can't see an existence where Lyra Valkyria defeats Bianca Belair. I just can't.
Nobody thought she could be EO. I didn't.
Jane Cena is what they call her. Shout out to Bry.
Listen, man.
How do you feel about my my comparison? Get this: Bianca Belair, John Cena, Jade Cargill, Dave Bautista.
I think it's completely fair.
Okay.
I think it's completely fair.
That's where I think we're moving with things.
Oh, just in terms of like that rivalry?
Yeah, rivalry, career arc, kind of like I know Jade Cargill wants more than just wrestling, as Dave did as well. I know Bianca Belair is more so the face. Jade Cargill, Dave Bautista also kind of like 1B, but also can like have her once she gets away from Bianca, she'll be able to move really on her own and be able to do stuff. I think it's a great like career trajectory kind of thing.
Right. I am interested to see how they get these two away from each other, which sounds bad, but it's just like, there's always like that ending. It's just like, how are they going to get them away from each other? But I think right now they're dynamite together. I think that they're amazing together. So
I agree.
I'm not waiting for that to happen, but I think that there's a lot of meat on the bone to like the damage control stuff. I think that with Lyra, the key is getting her here. You know what I'm saying? And after that, it's kind of keeping her there. And I think that they've done a bang up job with Lyra. She got friends in high places. Okay. Lots of high places. And I think that this is not going to be the last time we like see her. So I don't think she needs the win. I don't think that she needs to have that win right now. I think that whoever comes out on the SmackDown side needs to have the win. And if it's Nia Jax, it's even better because she hasn't had like that big marquee win yet. So
no. I think she hasn't had one. She beat Alexa Bliss at WrestleMania a number of years ago. It might be closer to a decade now.
Yeah.
Than anything, to be honest with you.
Right.
But I think what would help cement this run, especially all the work that she's done, usually get rewarded if you do big work, even if you take them big ass jobs in fucking Australia. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're rewarded eventually. And I think she's going to be rewarded with Queen of the Ring. Queen Nia sounds pretty fire. So.
Yeah. Gunther. Is it time?
It's got to be Randy, and it is Gunther's time.
Yeah, it's Gunther's time. It's time. All right, let's get to the actual matches here. Becky Lynch versus Liv Morgan. I think this is kind of easy. I think the idea is to see if Liv can hang, right? Like that's what we're looking for.
I feel like Liv can hang, but I think this is honestly, I don't know what the purpose of this match is. I would say if they can use this effectively to get Liv over, even if she doesn't win, maybe she like lays out Becky or something along those lines after the fact. I think that needs to be the vehicle for this, because I think if we're going to be doing Liv and Rhea and they're switching kind of like roles in this instance, you need to heat Liv Morgan up pretty fucking hard. But I also think, I don't know, could they switch the belt to Liv?
No.
If we're gonna get Rhea eventually.
No. I wouldn't do it.
I feel like, so here's my explanation for this. We're gonna do Liv versus Rhea eventually. Rhea kind of like lost the belt unceremoniously. You don't necessarily, I don't think she beats Becky again. But I do think a conduit for this happening is Liv Morgan. And I feel like it's similar to Stone Cold doesn't want to lose to Triple H.
so he loses
Mick Foley. So he loses to Mick Foley, who then loses to Triple H.
No one's on that type of time, though. And on the women's division, I would hope not. No one's on that type of time.
What do you see for Becky in the future then? Do you feel like there's a lengthy reign? Do you feel like there's contenders lined up for her?
Not
She
lengthy,
can.
not lengthy, but I think the damage control is definitely in the peripheral. They're happening. They're for sure happening. And I think that the Lyra tag team happens with her, and I think that's what she does next.
Okay, I can see that. All right.
Like you gotta put somebody on Becky's level that's kind of like on Becky's level. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like that's beating people. You know?
No, I feel you. I feel you. And we haven't really seen it before, so I feel you.
Yeah, yeah. And she got friends in high places. So, man, I really like fuck with Becky. I just think that they should just get this over with. I think Becky's gonna win though, for sure.
This is tough for me because I've low key talked myself into Liv.
Becky does need to start having short reigns though, so that she can get her shit up to Charlotte.
But H not a short reign nigga. That's the problem.
Yeah, you need to be a short reign nigga, but
he not. That's the problem. I'm gonna, for the sake of interestingness, I'm gonna go with Liv.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with
I
Liv.
won't be mad either way, but it just keeps Becky and Liv's fucking it keeps her in Liv's orbit for too long, and I think that's what I'm not a fan of. Honestly,
I agree.
It keeps her in her orbit for way too long.
Because that punching backstage shit is weird. I don't
know. Sami Zayn versus Chad Gable versus Bronson Reed. Shout out to Chad Gable for his first PLE in 18 months. I did not know that. That is kind of nuts. But Intercontinental title match, triple threat. This is going to be like your kind of like wild, kind of like anything goes type match of the night. Sami Zayn, again, this guy could cut a promo, man.
Mind, body, and soul. I was like, get the fuck out of here,
bro. He could cut one, bro.
He spun a good web with that one. I'll tell you that.
I thought Bronson Reed's promo was really good too. I was like, he's showing me something as well. I would not be mad at Bronson winning here. I don't think that ultimately Sami needs to hold this title for very long. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like I don't think I think he needs to share the wealth. You know,
I'm kind of going with Chad here. I'm kind of going with Gable.
I'm going with Bronson. I'm going with Bronson Reed. Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
He's eaten enough shit, I think, in the last year. He's eaten a lot of he won the fucking the Andre, didn't he?
Did he?
Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
He won the Andre.
So he got his win for the year. He good.
No, I think they really want to do something with this guy, and I think that he's your 1A or 1B mid card heel, and that's where you kind of go with him. And I don't think Sami should have this title for very long. I think Sami should. I'm gonna put it out here. I think Sami should win Money in the Bank.
I can see that. I think. Go ahead.
I think Sami should win Money in the Bank, and I think that I think that Sami should start going for the world title. I think that should be like his next big thing, bro. I just stop fucking around. Just let him go for that title now.
I'm going with Chad Gable. I think realistically, and this isn't like Chad Gable should have always won it. He should have been at WrestleMania and he should have beat Gunther. This is not one of those. I just think to bring Chad Gable's character to a meaningful place, considering all the time that he's getting, and build this Otis feud to a meaningful place, I think he has to have some sort of a major victory to timestamp that thing. And I think if he uses Otis, you got Otis there. So I don't know if Otis is going to turn on him at fucking in Saudi Arabia. I would hope not. I really do feel like Chad Gable needs to win this one. Just to have the reign. Like he's done the work. I think he deserves a reign.
Yeah. Win the big one. Win the big one.
This is his big one because he's not been in the actual big one.
Yeah, no, the big one is completely out of reach. Did you see they started chanting "You suck"?
Yes. Listen, man.
I said he's. I literally was like, he did it.
Yeah.
Fucking did it. He did it. He's full on with the bullshit now. So, I'm with it. I
niggas is mad. Yo, every time I think of Chad Gable, I think of Adam Cole. just because they both tiny niggas. But I'm like, bro, you missed out. He's tiny, and look at what he's doing, bro.
You
He
was
a
gonna get
manager
a
too
run.
sometimes.
Yeah, you was gonna get a run, bro, but you wanted to stream. Now look at you. Your neck and your leg don't work.
Jesus Christ.
And then we have the main event, of course, Cody Rhodes versus Logan Paul. I'm so upset they're not doing this in Cleveland, but I get it. There's probably something way bigger they have planned for Cleveland. As soon as I saw this happen, I was like, oh, they must have something bigger for Cleveland, that they got to do this now. I really did enjoy the interview segment on SmackDown. I know that we're interview segmented it out. We had like 3 in 1 week or some shit. But I love what Cody brought to it. I liked the lawyer. Whenever you want to piss somebody off and make somebody a bigger heel, you put a lawyer there, and people will boo them automatically.
Absolutely.
And I thought it really it really came off well. And I think that the motivations for Cody really accepting that it would only be his title just so he could be like, yo, like, fuck it, you know what I mean? Like, I'm gonna prove that you can't hang here. You know what I'm saying? Like that you can't hang. I think adds more to it. And it worked for me. This happened very quick, I think, which is a huge kind of mark on this match. It just happened too fucking quick. I think that we needed a couple weeks to build up. But in terms of the actual performance, I think Cody's coming off a string of some major matches, and I have no doubt that this will be another one.
I'm looking forward to this match because I do think it's going to be blockbuster.
Celebrity wrestling.
done the best. Yeah, I'm kind of upset this is not happening in Cleveland, but I'm kind of okay with it now.
Yeah.
Do you think Cody versus Solo is happening in Cleveland now? Because the Solo shit's getting out of hand.
The Solo shit is looking crazy, because I think that you see them in every single big match in the next couple months. I think that you're seeing them in Money in the Bank. You're going to see them in a lot of things happening. But that's the thing, is that like
they can't. I feel like it's like, I don't know if they can be fighting Kevin Owens for the next 6 months.
They can't do that. And I wanted them to be away from Cody for a while, but you also can't not have them.
Once you did this, once you made sure that Logan Paul wasn't going to be the match at Cleveland, now I'm like, all right, we can't escape this.
Yeah, just do it.
Yeah, the Solo thing is, the orbit's too strong. And you got Randy and KO who can be in Cody's corner, and it just makes sense.
I don't think there is a bigger match that he could have this side of like AJ Cody 2 at SummerSlam. So yeah, I'm thinking that it'll probably be Bloodline adjacent, if not Roman again. Honestly, there's still time for Roman to come back.
There is still time for Roman to come back.
I think that they said that I think a long time ago they said that his next appearance wasn't until like July. So there's still time for that to happen. I just wonder for Cody what's next. What's immediately next? Because they're what are they? Are they right back on the road after this? Like they're
they going to Japan the week before SummerSlam. I was like, y'all niggas is crazy.
It's Clash at the Castle on June 15th, so they have less than a month for another Cody defense, unless they just live. Well, Cody's not going to miss a defense. He hasn't.
I feel like this is true. He hasn't. What's his tour dates looking like? Let me look at his tour dates. Because he posted them a while ago. Let me see if he's at Clash of the Castle. He's in Japan for sure. Let me see Cody's tour dates. Where he at? Is he gonna be at Clash of the Castle? They got him in June. Oh, he's for sure going to be at Clash of the Castle.
Yeah. But I don't think he main events though. Or he should, huh?
No, he shouldn't. No, he shouldn't.
I don't think Drew. I think it should be.
Why is this nigga gonna be at NXT Battleground?
Oh
wait, no. That's the
weekend.
That's just the tour. It's not his dates. He just posted dates.
It's if they're in Vegas, they'll probably be doing something in Nevada that week or something, or that weekend at a house show.
He's in Jeddah, Saudi Arabia. I don't know if they posted more of his dates. They posted the tour dates. The tour dates that everyone started posting.
Yeah. Sold out dates.
Yeah.
Set up dates. But yeah, I think Cody's winning this. I think my question right now is what's going on after. We don't really know, but that's something to figure out, not us. But I think this is going to be a solid show. Um,
I think
Saudi
so
shows,
too.
Saudi shows have never really been like, at least they have something happening at this show, but they never had much of consequence behind it. But I think at this point, it's like, okay, let's get into the summer season and start seeing what this big summer program is going to be. And if it's that Wyatt family shit, nigga, come on. I know y'all hot, but that's a big heat check for WWE. That is a
Fuck
gigantic.
out of here. If I see Bo Dallas, Alexa Bliss, Braun Strowman, and fucking Eric Rowan together, I'm like, all right.
Yeah,
Get the what did they call that group in the 90s? You know what the fuck I'm talking about.
I don't. What
The
group?
oddities.
Oh, the oddity.
The oddities. Put Braun Strowman in the Cartman shirt and everything.
Wow, come on, man. You're tripping, bro.
Oh my god. No, I'm just not excited for it.
Me either. But I see that there are other avenues that they could make this fun, for Cody at least. But yeah, that is Clash of the Castle, and this was a very long episode. So
Yeah, it's
thank you guys
free.
for listening.
It's
Yeah, it's
free.
free. It's free. Thank you guys for listening. If you haven't joined the Patreon already, please put down to 5. You'll be able to get bonus content from us. Hopefully, I want to do like a challenge thing soon. Some people have talked to me about it. They said they want to see it.
If y'all want to see, I'll definitely do it.
I think Meelz is just scared that no one wants to hear it. And
No, it's not that. It's that, like, listen, I can talk about it.
I think people want to hear us talk about things just in general. So
I can talk about it. I'm just saying, I have a lot of opinions and I can talk about it. It's just if y'all are ready for that. Because I can talk.
y'all got to be ready for it. You know, y'all got to be ready for it. But listen, thank you guys for listening. Make sure you check out the War Report this week. They're going to be previewing and predicting AEW Double or Nothing this weekend. And yeah, thank you guys for listening. For Meelz, I'm Justin. And until next time on the A Show, we'll be right back next week with all of our thoughts on King and Queen of the Ring, as well as Double or Nothing, as well as anything else that happens. So check us out. We'll see you guys next week.